Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jerry Juice Let's Play, and in our previous episode, we had our glass, and we also had a very sad day, because down here, we had a very important creeper die. Rest in peace, Charlie. But, I've been doing a little bit of work off camera. As you can see here, I have extended this road, and even built a tunnel to my spawn. And I also thought that on our map, we should label all of our farms and buildings, so that's what I did. Now today, I actually don't want to start with working on our base. I think we should start with something that is a little bit different from what I normally do in my Let's Plays. You see, off camera, I traveled thousands of blocks looking for horses, and I dragged them all the way back here, and I want to breed them and try to create the perfect horse. However, this pen is not going to work for what we are doing. We need like a full-on stable to keep all of these horses organized so we can get the best possible horse. Now, most of you probably aren't familiar with how horses work in Minecraft, so I'll give you a quick rundown. First off, when they are spawned in, they have 3 stats. The first one is health, where they can have anywhere from 7.5 to 15 hearts. The next stat is speed, which can be anywhere from 4.75 blocks per second, which is roughly walking speed, to 14.23 blocks per second, which is about 3 times running speed. And the last stat is jumping, which ranges from anywhere from 1 to 5.5 blocks. And then if you breed 2 horses together using either golden carrots or golden apples, the 2 parent stats will average out, and then they'll add or subtract a little bit to get the baby stats. So using that, we can eventually breed together 2 horses that will create the perfect baby horse. Now for these breedings, I'm going to have 5 families, where each one will start off with 2 horses and will specialize in one category. The first 3 categories are just specializing in speed, jumping, and health. And then the other 2 categories is one where I just go with whatever I think will make it the best horse. And then the last one is sort of a fun one where I try to create the worst horse possible. Alright, so now this is the speed team stable, and this is Team Hop's stable. Now I just need to build 3 more, and we will be ready to start. Alright, now we have 3 more stables constructed. This one is for Team Constitution. Over here we have the Guts team. And lastly, We Just Suck. Now we're going to need a couple of courses so we can assess the horse's ability to see how fast they can run and how high they can jump. So, I'm right now constructing a runway for them to go run on. Alright, so from here all the way down to there is exactly 50 blocks, plus an extra 10 blocks of road on either side for the horse to accelerate and to decelerate on. I'm going to time the horses by putting pressure plates here and there, and hooking it up to a timer that will tell us exactly how long it takes the horse to run down. So now I think that our timer should be done. So all we need to do to activate is to press those pressure plates, and then I run along here, and I would be on a horse for this, but then once it pressed these pressure plates, we should get our time, which is 45 iron nuggets. And each of these iron nuggets I think represents about 1/5 of a second. And now we also need to create a test for jump strength. And for this, I will be going by 1/4 of the blocks. I could go by like 1/8 or even less if I wanted to. But I'll just stick with 1/4. So here we are at 0.75, and then up here we'll go up to 2 blocks. Alright, so after like over an hour and a half of preparation, I think that we are now ready to start breeding some horses. So I'm going to grab a saddle from my saddle collection. Okay, so first off with the parents, we're just going to do some tests just to see how far they grow in the future. And also, in case we want to breed them again. So, come on. This one's being really stubborn. So, no matter what his score is, he is going to go on the speed team. So, let's start off with the run test. So, run. Go. Go, horsey. Come on. And time. Okay, let's see what you got. 30 iron nuggets, that is not bad. Okay, now let's start with jumping. Okay, that's no problem, no problem. No problem. Starting to get a little difficult. Oh. Now all these will be standing jumps. Okay, ooh, this might be the last one. Come on. Oh, it's really hard to get it perfect. Ah. No. This is actually sort of getting embarrassing. I cannot get that max power. There we go. Oh. So it looks like 2.5 is his max. Okay, there we go. I have it written down there. And I also want to do it in a spreadsheet. So here I have a spreadsheet. And I'm going to type in the same stuff. So we have a 30 iron, a jump of 2.5. Whoops. 2.5 blocks, and 9 hearts. And I just want to do this for every single horse. And I think we're going to get some pretty interesting graphs near the end. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly get a baseline for the rest of these horses. And I will be back when I'm done with that. Alright, now I have all 10 of our horses' stats, and I also have breeded them, so we have a baby. And I didn't put them in any particular stable, I just put them in the order that I went in. But I might regret that, because here in our worst stable, we have our fastest, this is our fastest horse right here, and this is one of our highest jumping horses. While over here in the stable that's supposed to be our best horses, we do have, this is our highest jumping horse, but he's very slow, and this one can barely jump and only has 9 hearts. So, yeah, I probably should have sorted them, but it'll be fine. But now I'm just waiting for these babies to grow up so we can do another round of testing. And we could even breed these horses again if we wanted to. There we are. So we have even more babies to work with. And right as I was done breeding the second batch of baby horses, the first batch became adults. So now I can start testing out these guys. Okay, so now I'm going to assess all these other horses' stats. And when I come back, I will tell you the verdict. Here's where we stand after doing all the tests for our babies. Now, in the speed team, we didn't have any new best. However, we did have a new second best, so that should help us with our next generation of breeding. In team hops, we did have a new team record for jump heights, so that will be nice. In constitution, nothing new for that. The guts team, which is the team where I just try to create the best horse based upon my personal opinion. For this, I think we did get a new, better horse. This new one is a little bit slower, but does have slightly better jumping and hearts than this other one. And lastly, for the we suck. And overall, I think that this is also a win here. New second lowest number, and the jump is also around in the middle, but overall, I think that this one is worse than this one. Well, with another generation done, I feel like we are slowly but surely inching there. I feel like it's a little bit different for each group. Like, with our speed group over here, I don't think we've made any progress with them. But overall, I think with all the rest, we are going somewhere. One thing that I have learned is we can feed them something like sugar, and they will grow a lot faster. There we are. And it's also supposed to make them tamer. I am starting to need to steal saddles from other horses, because unfortunately my saddle supply is not endless. And while I'm already talking to you, how about I'll do another test real quick. This one seems to have pretty decent speed, maybe like a good 25 or 26. Yeah, 26. And like I said earlier, I don't really need to measure stuff like hops, but I do anyways just for the data. Unfortunately, this horse did not break any records, but he did get decent jumps based upon what we've been getting so far for our other ones. Well, now we have sort of a sad day, because today we need to start killing horses, because I don't have enough stalls for them anymore. So, you are the slowest of the team, so that's it. That's what happens to the slowest on the team. Goodbye! You, my friend, are a very fast and healthy horse, and for that, I'd like to award you with killing you. It's the wrong place to be like that, dude. You, my friend, are our first Gen 5 horse. Now, if some of you are wondering how I'm doing my generations, it's basically just I have my two parents, in this case, this Gen 4 and Gen 3, and I add 1 to whoever's higher. So, for this 4, I add 1, and it's 5. Well, I'm just going to keep on breeding them, and once I get some sort of major breakthrough where something actually good happens, I'll talk to you again. Okay, so now I have tested 50 individual horses, and so far, we very slowly are having progress. You see, like, for the speed team, they started at a 30 under 24, and now they're down to a 24, which is alright. Like, we were at 30, and then 27, then 26, then 25s and 24s. So, I think that we can get down to a 23, maybe even a 22. However, I can't say we've had the same success on Team Hops. We got up to 3 1/4, which is above what we started off with. However, even though we've bred those two 3 1/4 horses 5 times, none of them have even matched what they've been. Over on Constitution, nothing has changed. It's been a very flat line. On the Guts team, it's sort of hard to say we've had success, because on this final horse, even though I was quite happy with it, as we've gotten some pretty good stats for the first time in a while, none of these stats are high. Like, this 27 is outmatched by that 26, 3 1/2 is outmatched by 3 1/4, and this 10 is matched up by an 11. But I am happy with this one, because we get 3 great stats all on the same horse, which should be helpful in getting a better horse in the future. And then on team, we just suck. I think this might actually be the team we've had the most success on. Our jump has gone down, all the way down to 2 1/2 blocks of jump. And our speed has also gone down also. But our hearts have stayed the same. So now, even though we've had such little success, and I've been doing this for so long, I still sort of want to see if we can do better. I mean, like, 29 iron for you, we can do way better than that. We had one that was 41, right? So we can make that horse so much worse. And then all of these others, we can make so much better. It'll just take a long time. And to be honest, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. I thought by 10 rounds we would have had, like, a horse with 20 speed, and one of these with jumping up to like 4 blocks, but right now we're struggling to get anywhere above 3. Alright, so I've done a few more rounds of testing, and I still have had little to no improvement. Like, these horses still only have 12 hearts, and these ones over here are still only jumping 3 to a 3 1/4 blocks high, and just nothing seems to really be working. So, I thought about it for a while, and the answer just suddenly hit me. And it just suddenly became so much more clear at why this wasn't working. Let me explain. Alright, so to help you understand this, I'm going to create a hypothetical scenario where we have 2 parents with 12 HP each. And that's actually the same scenario that I've been having in my world. So when the two parents breed, if they just simply average out their two stats, then that is very predictable and we will always get the same result. So if we bred together two horses with 12 HP, then we would always get 12. But that isn't very interesting. So Mojang added a third pretend parent, and this pretend horse also has stats that are generated just like any other horse in Minecraft. So now the baby will take the stats from not only just the two parents, but also the pretend parent that we have just created. So, for example, let's say that this pretend parent has 11 HP. If we add 12, 12, and 11 together, then that gets us 35, and average out, we divide it by 3, 11.66, which, unfortunately, Minecraft in this case scenario will always round down, even if it's above 0.5. So, our baby horse would have 11 HP. And because the health will always round down, even if our pretend horse got a stat of 15 health, then the baby would still only have 13 health, which isn't that good. And if we got two 13 horses together, then it would be impossible to get a 14 horse. Right. So here I've created a graph to help illustrate this, and it's not a perfect graph, but it's close enough. So over here on the y-axis, we have the percent chance that the horse's value will change, and on the x-axis, going horizontally, we have the combined stats of the two parents, not including the pretend one. This red line here represents the odds of the horse's stats decreasing, and the green line represents the odds of the horse's stats increasing. So as you can see, it's much more heavily favored in the stats decreasing, because this red line goes all the way down to 15 and 14, where it is mathematically impossible for it to decrease because it's already at 7. And then the green line only goes up to 24, because above 24 we can only go up to 13, and above that it just simply can't increase, as I said earlier. So yeah, I hope that you understood that. It was a little bit complicated, but that logic doesn't just have to be applied to health. It can also be applied to speed and jumping. However, the effect isn't quite as dramatic because in speed and jumping there isn't any rounding to be done. And the effect also works in the opposite direction with this team when we're trying to get the stats as low as possible, because the same way that gets harder to get higher also gets harder to get lower. So yeah, this experiment was sort of a bust, but we still learned something, and we were able to answer our question: is it possible to breed the perfect horse? The answer is no. The answer is no, because while technically you could breed a perfect running and jumping horse, it would take hundreds and hundreds of generations to get that perfect horse. And also, even if you could manage to do that, it would only have 12 hearts. And overall, you would have much more luck finding the perfect horse somewhere in the wild. Also, I hope that you appreciate that explanation, because I don't even want to say how long it took for me to create that in an understandable way. So, yeah, this experiment was just simply a bust. Let's go work on something else that isn't horses, because I think that we've all had enough of these today. So, after all of that frustration with horses, I sort of need to loosen up. And many of you probably know that the best way to loosen up is to destroy something. So, I am gathering up some gunpowder and sand, and I am creating some TNT. Boy, is TNT expensive. I spent all the sand I have, and look, I only got like, what, 6 stacks? I'm going to need a little bit more than that to let out my frustration. Alright, so I had to go on a bit of a mining trip, but now I have an entire shulker box full of TNT. But, I'm gonna grab a few more rockets, and I'm going to go fly away. And by the way, I'm really grateful for this farm, because this would not be possible without it. I'm not sure how many people have gathered up over 8,000 pieces of gunpowder in their survival world. Alright, this seems like a pretty nice place. It's a solid 3,000 blocks from spawn, and it's a nice village. And, you know, when you're exploding something, you have to explode something. You can't just explode the world. So, I've chosen a village because villagers are the most single annoying thing in Minecraft. So, I am just going to collect some TNT, and I'm just gonna place it all around. So, you see this area that's outlined in red? That area is a bit of a problem, and I don't really like it. So, I'm here in about 5 or 10 minutes. It's not going to be here anymore. So, it is about time to light this up. And while I could show you a slideshow of me watching this in first person, we could also watch in third person using the replay mod. So, that is what we are going to do. So, the village is gone. I don't see anything left of it, but there is a single block left. And how, mister, did you survive? You must have been like a bunker or something. But actually it was a lot smoother than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a complete slideshow, but I probably held at least 15 frames per second. But I'm still glad that I did the replay mod, because what the replay mod showed was a lot cooler than what I showed on my screen. But it's sort of disappointing that an entire shulker box of TNT only did this much damage. I was hoping that would be a bit more impressive. So to finish off the episode, let's do a quick time-lapse of me placing down some glass. Well, that's about another 3 shulker boxes of glass placed down, and this video has been going on for sort of a little while. So to the maybe 2 of you who have gotten it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.